Hello fellow coders, hope you all are doing great. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can use Firebase to authenticate your React application with Google sign-in, and it's actually pretty easy. Now the cool thing about this method is you don't have to create another sign up page for it. There is no need to create a sign up handle or sign in handle. Both of them are going to be inside the same button itself. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to just go ahead and get into the directory that you're going to be working in, and you can just I'm going to just use the create React app, and then let's just name it test. So I'm just creating a React application. Now what we are going to do over here is we're going to just write here npm start, just to show you how does it looks like it's going to be just a normal React application, nothing too fancy. All right, so you can clearly see that this is just a simple React application. We are actually going to open a new terminal over here and keep it aside for a moment. Now for now, we are going to just use the app.js file and then just remove all of the code that we don't need. So I'm just going to create a new button, Google. All right, here it is. Here's the button. All right, so I'm actually going to just create a same page login thing. Like it's going to happen on the same page. You can just create a context and then use the login credentials all over the application. Now for this, you have to go to firebase.google.com. You can click on get started. Then just click on add project. Just name your project over here. Anything, like I'm just putting Lorem over here. And this is asking us to enable Google Analytics. We don't need it right now, so you can just turn it off. All right, so it says your project is ready. You're gonna just click on continue, and we're gonna just go ahead and select. Now over here you can see there are 3 different apps, and 2 of them are here. Like we're not going to use any of them. We're just going to use the web. We're going to click on web, type in your web app name. It could be same as the one that you typed in earlier. I don't want any Firebase hosting or anything. You just click on register. Now over here you can see there are 2 different things. This is the command that is need to install Firebase in React. It's like a package that you can install. So you can just copy it and paste it over here. And until it is installing, we're just going to copy this thing as well. This is the boilerplate code that is used to initiate the Firebase application. Now it contains API keys. Now this Firebase config would have all the API keys and other things that you would need in order to start your application, initiate your application. So this is just going to be here. We're not going to touch it. All right, so now it's done. We're gonna just go ahead and open the application over here, and let's just remove these comments. We don't need them, like that. Now what we need is just interested in authentication. We're going to click on authentication, and we're going to click on get started, and then click on Google, and then click on enable. It will say that project you have to type in the project facing name. If you want, you can just change it to something else, but I'm not going to do it right now because it's just a basic project. And there it says project support email. Let's just say there is some sort of notification that you need to receive for your project. It is asking for the project support email for the same. We're just going to click on this and select the email that we are logged in with currently, and we're going to click on save. It's enabled. Now we're going to go ahead and type here Firebase auth docs. Here it is. You want this one, firebase.google.com docs, and then auth. We're going to click on this. These are the docs that we're going to refer. Now on the left hand side you will see there are multiple applications mentioned over here. You're just going to click on web and then click on get started. So this is just a service that comes under Firebase. Now we have this thing. Now this boilerplate code has already been done, so we don't want this, the Firebase config and all that stuff. We just want this line that is new. Okay, so we're gonna just paste it right here. This is the get auth function from Firebase /auth. Just going to initiate the authentication feature in your application, and this is the initiator. It goes after the initiation of the app because it's take app as a parameter in it, and after that this is optional. We don't want this. This is for signing up new user. Now this is for creating user with email and password. We don't want this. We just want sign in with Google. Okay, so make sure that you're using the web version 9. We're not using the web version 8 because it's a little bit different than this. So we're just going to copy this, and then we're going to just paste it right here. Alright, so this is the provider. which goes underneath the auth, and inside this provider we're going to just copy and paste the authentication variable. Now this thing is Google Auth Provider. It's another function that comes under Firebase. Alright, there is this optional step. You can check these steps out in this doc. I'll just put a link in description. You can just check these optional things out. Okay, and there is this fifth point. It says sign in with pop. So we actually have two different options: sign in with pop-up, and we have sign in with redirect. So there are two different options here. I'm gonna go with sign in with pop-up because it's better. It's like better for your application. According to me, it's a little bit better than that. So we're just going to paste it right here. I just copied it from here. All right. So over here, you can see this. It also has copied this get auth thing. We don't want that because we have already done it over here. And this thing is a function that is going to be called once we click on the login button. This is what we want. Okay. So we're gonna just define an on-click function over here. And actually, I'm going to just create a small function here with the name click handle. All right, like that, and then I'm gonna paste the whole thing in there. Already been imported in this same thing. Now we can just remove those two things. All right, so we're going to just remove these comments. These two things are not required right now. These two things are just used to access the Google APIs, and like, you know, if the user has logged in with Google, they can access the Google's API and do different things on your application. But right now we don't need it. We just need the user and user's information. So this is the user that we're getting from this sign pop-up. Now you can see that there is a parameter auth and a provider in it. So both of them are already defined over there. So this is the thing that we need. If there's any error, we can just console.log it. All right. So there you go. Now this thing goes in this on-click function. Voila. So you have set it up the login thing. Now the login would work if we click on this thing. It's going to show up as the pop-up, but we don't want this. We actually want to store the user's information so that we can use it on application. So for that, we're just going to use the use state snippet, this useEffect thing. The reason behind we are using useEffect hook in this particular application is, I'll let you know why we are using it by removing it and then putting it back again. So this is the current user. And we're going to just put it over here and then set the value to this. Now just for the display purpose, we can just put a p tag here and then current user dot display name. Now this is actually a function that we're calling from the user that we have stored in the current user variable. I'll tell you where you can find all the functions. You can just write here user object in Firebase, and you're going to click on this user JavaScript SDK reference. You will see all the functions that you can call like that. Then we're going to write here login info. Now this thing will only be visible if user is there. Current user is there, then display this. If the user is not there, then say please login. Right? So this is what we're going to have. It says please login over here. I'm going to click on login. So let's just use this email, random email. All right. So you can see that there is login information over here, the account's name and the email ID. Now you can actually use it. You can export it with the help of the context by enclosing this whole component in a simple context and then using it in other components as well. So you can do that. Now the reason behind I was asking you to use the useEffect snippet with a function that is supplied by Firebase is because of the fact that when we go and inspect and we do the empty cache and hard reload, it's going to remove the login information because the login information was stored in current user and current user was just a variable in JavaScript. So when we reload it and it just empties everything, it just go back to default state, that is 0. That is null basically, it's nothing there, it's nothing. So for that, we are going to use a function that is on auth state change. It will check if the state is changed or not. So for that, we're going to just set up a useEffect snippet. So this will be called as soon as the application is mounted. So we will just use the on auth state change. Now there is actually a whole on auth state change like thing available snippet over here. Now what it is actually doing is it's just using this function and then it's performing this particular function by taking in the parameter auth. All right. So if user is there, then you're going to just set the current user to this. So we have just removed it from here. You can just put it like over here as well. It's just going to work anyway. So else console log signed out. All right. right? So this is how it's going to work. So yeah, now another thing that we would need to add is the sign out feature. Sign out feature over here. We're going to copy it and then go over here. Just underneath this button, we're going to just create a sign out btn, and then we're going to just put here sign out. Okay, and it will be visible only if this thing is there, like the sign in has already been done. So we have just moved it inside there, and we're going to paste all of that in there. So this is this sign out feature is this sign out function can be again imported from here. So the sign out goes over here. Now the on click function can be defined somewhere else as well. So like over here, const sign out handle. All right, so sign out auth. Then we're gonna just console log that sign out is successful or what is done or whatever. All right, and console log the error as well if there is any error. I don't think there is going to be any error in signing out. Error, there you go. All right, so yeah, the sign out handle function will be called on click of this function. All right, so there you go. So we're just going to give it a hard refresh. It still loads because of the, look at this. So if we go in inspect element and we go ahead and empty cache and hard reload, it will still show the login information because of the fact that we have used the use effect and the function or on of state changed. So we're going to click on sign out. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just forgot to do one more thing over here. We are actually going to set current user as null, or you can just put 0 here. So like I just refreshed it. Let me just log in with Google again. All right, so it's logged in. We do the hard refresh. It still shows the login information. We click on sign out. It says that it's signed out. We can refresh it. And that's how you can just authenticate with Google using the Firebase in your React application. Hope you like this video. Please leave a like, a comment if you found this useful, and subscribe for more updates. And I'll see you next time. Peace out.